Let's go over the future of the Star Wars franchise when it comes to Rian Johnson's new trilogy. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, as you all know, the future of this franchise seems to be very expansive, with Episode 9 currently in the works, and even the new Star Wars trilogy by the creators of Game of Thrones, and even some standalone films apparently in the mix, such as the Obi-Wan Kenobi Star Wars movie, etc. However, today I wanted to talk about the Rian Johnson trilogy. We've been hearing a whole lot more about this these past couple of weeks here and there. Now, one of the big things that we have been hearing, it's not 100% confirmed or anything like that, but there is a lot of talk going around that Rian Johnson, alright, Disney may very well delay the production of Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy, and that means when it comes to him trying to come up with a script, and Ram Bergman as producer running all things when it comes to this new trilogy and working with Rian Johnson, etc. Now, if Disney may very well delay the production of Rian Johnson's trilogy when it comes to pre-production, I'm not quite sure what this means. To me, it sounds like that Rian Johnson's trilogy could very well be getting closer and closer to getting a cancellation where it's not even going to happen at all in the future. Now, I don't know if this is actually a thing that connects to what Rian Johnson recently did on Twitter. I don't know if you guys heard, but recently on Twitter, Rian Johnson deleted, I believe it was, 20,000 tweets? 21,000 tweets or something around those lines? Tons and tons of tweets were deleted from Rian Johnson's Twitter. I don't know if it's connected to that, but if Disney is going to halt the pre-production of Rian Johnson's new trilogy, I think that this could very well be a response to The Last Jedi backlash, absolutely, and even the Solo A Star Wars Story box office results, because a big part of that came from the Solo boycott and the Last Jedi backlash, and of course the hardcore fans not seeing the movie, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And looking at, everything that has happened with The Last Jedi and the Solo box office, I think that Disney recognizes now that they really can't gamble, when it comes to these movies. They really have to make sure that they are going to do an excellent job and that they cannot lose a whole lot of money again. And I think that they know that there's a big handful of people out there, especially the hardcore Star Wars fans, that didn't necessarily like The Last Jedi at all. I think that they can see that they would boycott that movie and his set of 3 Star Wars movies altogether. And I think that they do recognize that, and that could very well be why, maybe, we are getting closer to a cancellation of Rian Johnson's new trilogy. Now, I have expressed this numerous times before in the past. I'm really not feeling Rian Johnson as writer and director of a new trilogy. I feel like that somebody else should come on board. And I think that this also matches with what we heard a couple of weeks ago about Disney and Lucasfilm, and how they will only be hiring veteran directors and writers for their Star Wars movies. And what I mean by veteran, writers and directors, etc., I'm talking James Cameron, I'm talking Christopher Nolan, you name it, big time people. Now, those are the people I think that should handle a Star Wars movie, such as even Steven Spielberg. Give him a shot. I think that would be excellent. In fact, I think he would be the perfect fit for a new Star Wars trilogy that's more on the family-friendly side of things, which is what Rian Johnson is aiming to do, where the Game of Thrones creators are aiming for a more hardcore fan base and a more adult-themed Star Wars trilogy. And that, to me, screams the Old Republic, because really, if you think about it, what else could it really be? If it's going to be a whole entire trilogy with no Jedi and Sith, I really don't know how that's going to roll when it comes to the Game of Thrones guys. So I really do believe it's going to be the Old Republic. As far as Rian Johnson goes, we're really going to have to see exactly what happens. I think that what they're going to do is they're going to see exactly what happens with Episode 9 and J.J. Abrams, and then move on from that point forward. It's going to be a very interesting thing for sure to see exactly where the Star Wars franchise is going to go after Episode 9, and especially when it comes to Rian Johnson. If The Last Jedi didn't get the backlash that it got, and if, Kathleen Kennedy didn't get involved with some of the decisions and approving some of the decisions in The Last Jedi, you know, we wouldn't be having a lot of these problems where the community is pretty much divided and a lot of people are, you know, pretty much rejecting a lot of the movies out there to go ahead and see it. But anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. And thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.